How does a show about a strange man with an impeccable dress sense running around a blue police box have to do with how we humans cope with grief? And before I start this off, let this be the spoiler warning because this episode is really great and I feel that you should watch it before you watch my personal interpretation. Well, throughout this episode of Doctor Who, he's coping with the loss of his longtime companion Clara Oswald. The monster of the week in this case is a creature only known as the Veil, named after his only unique physical trait, the fact that it wears a veil. Another special trait of this creature is how the creature slowly shambles towards the Doctor, but despite its slow pace, it always catches up to him regardless of what he does. The only breather that he gets is when he tells the truth, causing the Veil to pause for a few moments, giving him time to put some distance between him and the creature. Now this is where the symbolism for grief comes in. Grief, much like the Veil, isn't something that runs towards you at a breakneck pace. It's slow, mindless, constantly shambling towards you. You can outrun it, yes, but the question isn't if it'll catch up to you, it's when. My personal experience with grief is much the same. It's just constantly trying to outrun something you can't see, but you know it's always there. You never know when it'll show up or where it is. It just constantly follows you non-stop, eventually catching up to you, only giving you a breather when you finally admit the truth. Because like most emotions, only when you admit how you truly feel, then can you start dealing with it. So what else defines this episode as a symbolism for grief? The repeated images of Clara, a reminder of what he lost. The Doctor even states that it's funny. The day you lose someone isn't the worst. At least you've got something to do. It's all the days they stay dead. People cope with grief in different ways, but the main one that people do is by not coping with it at all. It's by finding something to distract yourself with, constantly being on the move so that grief doesn't catch up with you. The episode ends when the Doctor finds a wall made of, and I quote, asbantium, a wall that's 400 times harder than diamond. Upon seeing this, he's overwhelmed by defeat. He knows that there's no way to win besides giving the people who trapped him here what they want. And that's when Clara appears in front of him and tells him how the Doctor can only win this time by facing the creature head on. And that's when he realizes that grief isn't something that you run away from, it's something that you deal with head on, because if you keep running away from grief, no matter how far you run or how fast you run, it'll just catch up to you in the end. Only then, when he finally made peace with Clara's death, did he know what to do. He spent the next 2 billion years carving away at the wall with nothing but his bare hands and sheer determination, eventually breaking free. The episode tells us how grief might seem like an undefeatable foe, that once you've lost someone you love, that's the end of that. You no longer have any purpose in the world. But there's always another way, another reason to keep living. Life isn't about looking back, it's about moving forward and learning from your past. I hope you enjoyed this first video. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more similar content.